What's up everyone, this is Luke and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about what it takes to become a professional gambler, like me. Look, before you jump on me in the comments below, this is something I did before, where I predicted the outcome of KSI against Logan Paul in a video. In that video, or the title of that video at least, I think I called it something like KSI versus Logan Paul, Pro Gambler Predict, or something like that. It was just a catchy short title that I thought would get clicks, because that's what you do here on YouTube. You try to get clicks on your videos. You don't just put them out there and hope that no one watches them. Why would you make videos if you hope that no one watches them? So I thought that was somewhat catchy. It was something that people might click on, and it was a little bit different to what was out there already. And quite a few people took offense to this, and they jumped on me in the comments. They said, "You're not a professional gambler. You just make money by match betting. Match betting isn't professional gambling. You don't have any risk." Look, for starters, I clarified right at the start of that video what I meant by the title, what I was doing, and all of that shit. Secondly, because I teach match betting on the website and on the YouTube, do you really know that that's the only way that I make money? Because I can tell you for now that it's not. Now, would I say that I'm a professional gambler? No, because I'm not. But I do know the types of things that it takes to become a professional gambler. I have some experience, quite a lot of it, in the betting world. And more importantly, which is something that I wanted to talk about a lot in this video, I know what it doesn't take. I know what all the people out there who claim to be professional gamblers are saying. I'm going to be highlighting a load of the bullshit that people tend to come out with, and plenty more, and I'm going to teach you what it takes to truly become a professional gambler. So watch this video through to the end, and if you do like it, hit that like button and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, so first of all, I want to start with my experience. As I say, I'm a matched bettor. If you don't know what that is, it's a very low risk form of gambling. Well, it's not really gambling at all, where you basically flip the odds of a bookmaker against them using their own promotions, using their own free bets and other offers as well, to basically guarantee an outcome of a profit. Now, I'm not meant to use the word guarantee because, you know, you could always make a mistake. You might get banned by the bookmaker, which does happen if you're a profitable person. So those kinds of things means that I'm not really meant to use the word guarantee. But if you do everything right and the bets all get placed successfully and everything like that, then yeah, you can guarantee your profit before a match even kicks off. This is nothing to do with match fixing or anything like that. I'm going to jump over this because if you want to learn more about that, then there's loads more on this channel, and there's more on the Beating Betting website linked in the description below as well. But what else do I do? Well, I do a little bit of Betfair trading. Now, Betfair trading is where you back and lay certain outcomes on an exchange. Now, if you don't know what an exchange is, basically it's peer-to-peer. You can buy bets and sell bets like you would on a stock market. You can back and lay, buy and sell. Now, if you think that a certain market is overpriced, you can back it, and when the price shortens, as you would expect it to do if the market realizes that it's overpriced, you can lay, and then you can guarantee a profit that way. You don't need the promotions, you don't need the free bets. And I know this is going to be complex, it might be a little bit confusing if you're new to all this, and I promise I will try to make the video, or the rest of the video at least, more simple than this. This is probably the most complex thing that's in here, but I do a little bit of Betfair trading, particularly on pre-match football markets. I don't do loads of it, but I do enough to, you know, return a profit each month. Other things that I do, poker. I'm going to talk about poker in another video about me being a losing player, in fact. So if you want to see that, then make sure you stick around on the channel as well. But I play a little bit of poker. I've won a small amount of money over the past few months, a few thousand, nothing to shout home about, but, you know, enough to keep me in profit, enough to keep the bankroll increasing. Fantasy sports as well. I like to play fantasy sports. Again, I've been profitable so far in my experience of fantasy sports, only in the fantasy football market, which is soccer, if you're watching this in America. Basically, I like to put my money where my mouth is, and I have been profitable for a number of years now. So whilst I might not be a professional gambler, I do know what I'm talking about, unlike a lot of people that are out there. I'm going to call out quite a few types of people right here now. The first type of person I'm speaking about is the average person on the internet that claims to be a professional gambler. Now, I've seen these on sites like Quora. If you're not on Quora, it's basically just a question and answer site. I've been on there recently, chiming in with my opinions and calling a few people out with my betting experience and knowledge. Now, what I've seen on sites like this, it happens on Reddit and other social media sites as well, is that people will claim to be a professional gambler. They will give their opinion, they'll say that they give free tips out, and then they will include a screenshot of like an £8,000 or $8,000 balance on a site like Bet365. Now, this is very impressive, yes, and to the average bettor, it would look really impressive. You know, most bettors, they've probably got somewhere between £10 and £100 in their betting accounts, maybe a bit more if you're on the wealthier side. If you've won a bet recently, you might have a bit more in your account, but most people tend to have a relatively small amount of money in their betting accounts. Now, when someone has 8 grand in their betting account, it looks a lot more impressive. Now, let me talk about the average return on investment for a professional sports bettor. If you're a professional sports bettor, you're probably looking at a return on investment of around 5% at best. At best. If you're profitable, sort of 1%, 3%, 5%, these are the ranges you're probably looking at. So if you've got an £8,000 bankroll that looks impressive, but for people that don't know what the average return on investment is, those types of people are straight up full of shit. Secondly, this is something that I've talked about a lot on the channel before as well, but if you're a consistently profitable bettor and you're making enough money to actually be a professional, you probably won't have access to your Bet365 account anymore. You probably won't have access to a large number of your online sports betting accounts because the vast majority of winners get their stakes restricted and get their accounts shut down as well. It's just a nature of the beast. It's the way the industry works. It's crooked and I don't like it. That's why I teach people how to beat it and take money, because it's one of the most corrupt industries in the world, in my opinion. But you can't trust anyone that claims to be a professional sports bettor and still has access to all of their online bookmaker account. It's just not possible. The next thing I want to talk about is tipsters, and particularly the in-play tipsters, the ones that like to do £20 to £1,000 challenges and stuff. If it wasn't obvious to you already, the vast majority of these are not winning bettors. They don't make a profit themselves. They make money via their affiliate link. And if they don't make profit via their affiliate links, i.e. via you losing money, they make their money by selling a subscription. So you pay them for their tips and then they make their money that way. Making money on these £20 to £1,000 challenges is very, very hard. You might do it every now and again. You might hit a flurry of them, but the times that you don't make a profit, they're going to catch up and they're going to balance out. Now, let's just say people are profitable. They do make a profit in these £20 to £1,000 challenges. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the average or the expected return on investment, or ROI, of professional sports bettors. If people are doing these £20 to £1,000 challenges on a regular basis and they're making 5% on their investment, again, they're not going to be looking at very much money. They're going to be looking at a couple of grand at best, probably. I've not done the maths behind that one, so don't quote me on it, or you can correct me in the comments below, but it's not a lot of money. 5% of these £20 to £1,000 challenges, when you're going to lose a large portion of them, you might just about make a profit, but again, it's unlikely, because if you are a winning bettor, your accounts will become restricted. So these tipsters that claim to make a living via these £20 to £1,000 challenges are straight up full of shit. It pisses me off, honestly. It really does annoy me, because I hate people that just lie. I hate people that are misleading you for their own profit. I hate it. Again, focusing on this tipster route, I want to talk about the people that tip trebles, accumulators, big bets with high odds. Now, these bets are such bad value. They're absolutely terrible value. They're significantly minus EV, or minus expected value. And they do it so that they can get exposure on their account. Every now and again, they'll hit a winner, because every bet has a chance of winning, no matter how unlikely it is and no matter how unprofitable it is long term. Every now and again, there's going to be a big win, and they can tweet it out, they can put it on their Facebook and say, wow, we've just had a 200 to 1 winner, how great are we? You're not fucking great, you're not fooling me, but unfortunately you are fooling a lot of people that don't know what they're on about, and they just don't understand value. They don't understand the way that the betting world works. Anyone that's claiming to make money via big accumulators and stupid, outlandish requester bets and things like that, they aren't telling the truth. They're just full of shit again. You can't make money on these markets long term. Yes, you might make a profit over 10 bets, you might make a profit over 20 bets, but when you're doing thousands and thousands of these bets, you're not going to make a profit. Trust me. Because if you do, you'll get shut down. Again, coming back to that same point. Now, I've called a few of the types of people out. Let's talk about the things that pro gamblers actually have. We've already talked about their ROI. Now, what would the minimum bankroll need to be for you to have in order to make a sustainable living? Now, obviously, this would depend on the country that you're in, but I'm in the UK, so I'm going to stick with the UK here as a general theme. What would an appropriate bankroll be for you to become a professional sports bettor? Obviously, you need to have a good bankroll, and you need to have good bankroll management. You need to not risk too much. You don't want to have, a 10 grand bankroll and go, first bet, let's put 10 grand on Man City because they're going to win. That's just a ridiculous thing to do. You need to find value in the market. You need to be sensible with your stakes because there's variance. Just because you've got a profitable value bet, it doesn't mean that it's going to win. So what type of bankroll would you need to have? Like, to become a professional, you're probably looking at 100 grand, honestly. These are the types of bankrolls you need to make an actual living. So think about it. Think about these people that claim to be professional gamblers. And I know that's exactly what I did in the title of this video, but I'm not misleading you. Little bit of clickbait maybe at the very worst, but I'm not misleading you. So many people out there, you know, they either don't have a job and they're unemployed and they claim to just be making money via the bookies, or they do have a job and that's what brings their real bulk of their income in, or they're making their money via affiliate links or selling tips to you. Obviously, the benefit with a big bankroll, say you've got 100 grand, obviously it compounds. So the bigger your bankroll is, the bigger 5% becomes. So if you get 105 grand and you make 5% on that, it's more than 5 grand now. If you can get up to 200 grand, then that 5% is going to become 10 grand, and it compounds and compounds and compounds. So you might have started with a smaller amount, but the amount of profit you can make long term increases. But like I've already said several times in this video and on the channel before, you won't make this profit via the bookmakers. Absolutely not. So the types of things you need to do is you need to be making your money privately. You need private firms, you need syndicates where you can get your money on in a large range of places. You also need exchanges. You need betting exchanges where you can bet against other people. You're not going to be shut down on an exchange for making a profit, although if you are using sites like Betfair, you will get hit with a premium charge if you're making a lot of profit. So there's sites like Smarkets, BetDAC, Matchbook, other sites like that. Those sites, you can get reasonable stakes down, but you're not going to get ridiculous quantities down. If you're looking to bet £1 million on a match, then you're probably going to struggle unless it's a huge, huge game. And there's something called slippage as well. So let's say you want to get all of your money on at odds of evens, and you know, if the odds are evens on an exchange, then the odds on a bookmaker are probably going to be 9 to 10. If you wanted to get all of your money on at evens, you might get some matched, but because of the money in the market, there's probably not going to be £1 million sat in the market waiting for you. So what you're going to have to do, if you wanted all of that money to be matched, you would probably have to take lower odds, or you would have to have some amount of money that is left unmatched. So you might put £1 million down. Again, very unlikely, and this is absolutely a hypothetical situation, but let's just say 100 grand gets matched. Or maybe you've decided that 1.9 is the fair price and anything above that you're happy with. You've then got commission to pay, so you probably want 1.95 or above. So you might say, you know what, I'm going to take 100 grand at 1.99, 100 grand at 1.98, and so on. So you have this slippage. You aren't going to get all of your money matched at the ideal price, probably, if you're putting massive stakes on. And this is only focused on sports betting so far, I do appreciate. So there are loads of other areas. The main purpose of what I'm talking about is value. Now, if you can find value in any area, I spoke about them earlier in the video that I like. Sports betting, Betfair trading, poker, fantasy sports, there's anything. Honestly, I'm a bit of a degenerate in the way that if I think I've got an edge, I will happily put my money on something, and sometimes for a bit of fun, I'll put my money on something that I'm not very good at. You know what? If you want to become a professional gambler, then you need to be putting your money wherever you can, as long as you think that you've got an edge. Now, this could be the world of poker. It could be the world of Betfair trading or fantasy sports. But the main thing you need to consider is, do you have an edge? And where is the value? If you don't have an edge, don't put your money on, because it's not going to be profitable long term. When there's value at stake, poker's a lot easier to say, because as long as you have a good grasp on your own ability, you know, you might not be the best player in the room, but as long as you know that you can make a profit versus certain players, and you pick your spots, and by picking your spots, I don't just mean in certain hands, but you need to know which tables to sit at. You don't play against opponents that you know are regs or are better than you. And this can be for absolutely anything, but the types of things you're not going to find an edge on generally long term is bets with general bookmakers, casino games, any sort of casino game where you don't have a bonus or promotion to use. No one's going to be a professional blackjack player, again, unless they're getting some cashback deal or promotions that they can exploit. No one's a professional roulette player. I think blackjack is the main one where people think, oh, he knows how to beat blackjack. Well, I'll tell you what, I know how to play the perfect blackjack game, but it doesn't mean that I can beat the house edge. The house edge of a perfect game with the types of rules that I like to play is 0.46%, so I could play 1,000,000 hands at £1 a hand, I'll still lose £4,600, even though I play the perfect game. You can't beat the house at casino games unless you have a promotion, unless you have cashback deal, unless you have an edge and you can find the value. Now, I hope that this video has cleared some things up for you. I know that it's sort of phrased in a way that is teaching you how to become a professional gambler, but mainly it's telling you that it's pretty fucking hard to do. It's very unrealistic for anyone out there to try and achieve this unless you're doing something like match betting or you can learn Betfair trading. To actually become a professional gambler, it's very hard. You need a lot of money. You need to ignore the types of people that you see on social media who are full of shit. This video has gone on too long and I've probably emphasized my points enough for you to get a general grasp of where I'm at. So if you have enjoyed this video, if you have found it interesting or informative, if you could hit that like button, I would very much appreciate it. If you could let me know any thoughts, questions, comments you have, drop them down in the comment section below. And if you do want to see more betting related videos from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more coming your way. So until next time, I'll see you again in another video.